about to start. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of No Conduct Radio. Today we are giving relationship advice, the do's and the don'ts of sex. So we are joined by Logic, Char, and BJ. Will be late because he's out being famous and he just doesn't need us anymore. So we're going to be talking about is there a right and a wrong way to have sex? Are there things that we should be doing that we aren't? And what do we need to learn from either sex, from either side, male or female, to make the experience mind-blowing? So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And then if we have time, we'll answer your relationship questions. We do have a new video up on our YouTube channel, which is the Relationship Crime. And this one is actually a teacher, a student, and a twist. So you may want to go to our relationship YouTube channel. What am I talking about, relationship? You may want to go to our YouTube channel, No Conduct Radio, and check that out. How is everyone doing tonight?
I'm doing great. And excited about our receipts that we have on my conspiracy theories. There are receipts, people. Conspiracy theories, my most controversial conspiracy theories are proven on our Facebook No Conduct page. So everybody, please go over there, check it out. Not just our panel, definitely our listeners. They're fun, they're scary, they're intriguing. Everything is proven that we talked about in our last two conspiracy shows, per Char. Alrighty, so I'm feeling really good about that. You guys can finally understand what MK Ultra is, mind control, cloning, the lasers that hit California, and they call it fires. So lots of good stuff on there.
And let's just say proven in quotes, proven. No? Nobody? Okay, well, Logic.
I did not get that punchline at all.
No,
because
she said she proved it. It's proven her conspiracy theory. So I said, let's just say proven in quotes.
What did I say?
You didn't get it? Still nothing? Oh,
yeah, I can prove them. That's why I said I have receipts. Especially for people like Logic that are skeptics and BJ and
are you
well,
doing
pretty much
the
everybody.
Quotation fingers and we just can't see it?
The quote unquote at this very moment,
I hate
yes.
you so much.
For some reason, I'm famous for that.
You to know.
I'm famous for the quote unquote. It's so annoying that I was doing that a moment ago.
Well,
absolutely.
He was
Char,
asking me actually.
What in the Sam Fats are you talking about?
Just leave her alone.
The quote unquote. Quote unquote.
Just leave
she
her
just
alone.
asked if I was doing the little finger things. I'm like, yeah, the little quote unquote with the fingers.
No,
yes.
I didn't ask. No.
What did you say?
That was Logic. Yeah, never mind. Just never mind.
All right. Alrighty.
So I put up on Facebook, on my personal Facebook yesterday, because my daughter, she can't breathe. So she got over pneumonia, and then she just feels like she's not getting enough oxygen, and she can't breathe. And so basically, doctors, what have I been to? Like 2 doctors so far, they're stumped. So one of them went the route of saying anxiety. But the thing is, since she's been born, she doesn't have normal symptoms of stuff. For whatever reason, she makes doctors have to pull out their books or call colleagues or whatever.
What do you mean since she was born? What does that mean?
She's had allergies and stuff since she was born. She was diagnosed with severe allergies at 10 months, and she got tests that she wasn't supposed to get.
Yeah, but you're saying that everything that she ever gets is not common?
I mean, not everything that she ever gets, obviously, but let's see, some of her allergies, doctors were arguing with me that it couldn't be allergies. Maybe she just didn't like it. because they've never heard of anybody being allergic to that. She had strep throat, but they couldn't see strep throat. Like they did the tested and everything. They did the strip, nothing came up. And they kept telling me she doesn't have strep throat, and I kept telling them she has strep throat. And it was like a month or two I was going back and forth with a doctor, going back to the doctor, telling them that something's wrong. I think it's strep throat. They're telling me, I don't see anything. Turns out that she did have strep throat because it turned into scarlet fever. And that's what happens if you leave strep throat too long, it turns into that. Then it's just always something. It's just always something. So this time she can't breathe. And when they reach the end of their rope, instead of saying, I don't know, let me ask, they'll say it's either in her head or now the new thing is it's anxiety. So I put something on Facebook. I'm telling this story for a reason. I put something on Facebook asking if anybody else has had this issue where, you know, the doctors, they just don't know what it is, so they start giving you bullshit answers. So I did get a lot of responses. A lot of people actually called me to tell me, you know, this is what happened to them. Like one woman, she said that she kept falling asleep all the time. Like they couldn't figure out why. She was just falling asleep. It was hard to walk. It was blah, blah, blah. Doctors didn't know why. And, yeah, a couple doctors told her mom maybe it's anxiety. So her mom kept looking for doctors. Turned out she had a bunch of fluid around her heart, and it just so happened they found the doctor at the right time because it was like, if you miss one more day, she has to come in now. She's about to die. So it turned out she had water fluid around her heart. But, you know, when doctors get to a certain point, they don't know what it is. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but they can't say, I don't know, let me find help. They'll just say, hey, you have this or you have that. They told my brother when he was going through his thing, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. They told him he was looking for attention. So I put that on Facebook just because, if you're going through something that's so frustrating and everybody around you is like, well, maybe they're right. And you're like, I'm telling you they're not. Something's wrong with my kid. And everybody around you is telling you this, and you just get frustrated. You kind of want to reach out and see if other people have experienced this just for the support. So I put that on Facebook, and Char comes back talking about me and anxiety and sleep, and I was like, what the hell are you talking about, Char? I don't know, when we're talking to you, you hear two words out of the whole conversation, and then when you're reading, you read two sentences. I'm like, what are you talking about, Char? So that whole story to say Char listens just like she reads. What are you talking about?
Well, Char is fabulous, and she doesn't need to hear the whole story. She's just going to give you what she knows.
Well, she's not defending herself. All I hear is echoes now.
Because she checked out. You think she was listening to all of that?
No, actually I am. Actually I am, but I wanted to read the post.
This is
I
not
wanted
about
to read
me.
the post.
How
I was
boring.
looking for the post. No, I wanted to read the post so everybody can see where I came up with my response, which was very, very, very informative, whether it was directly related to that or not. I thought it actually was
very informative, no matter if it had anything to do with what I was talking about.
No, but it really did seem that way at first. And I looked again, I was like, oh, she's not saying particularly that she has any of this happening. It's just why do doctors just tend to blame everything on, stress or anxiety or whatever, which they do.
Have any of y'all had that issue, or anybody listening, have any of y'all had that issue where a doctor doesn't know what's wrong, and so they just blame it on something else or tell you it's in your head or you're making it up? None of y'all?
No. Can't say that I have.
It was very interesting.
Is that surprising to you?
No, it's not. I mean, I wouldn't think everybody has this happening to them. No, it's not surprising. It's just easier if you know people who've gone through it because they know the frustration, I guess. So Char hasn't found it yet. Anyway, the post says story time. I've been kind of quiet out loud online for the past 3 days. It's because I'm dealing with a sick child, and week 3 of lack of sleep. So now it's becoming a norm that I fall asleep at my desk. Anyone ever had an issue where doctors can't figure out a problem, so they default to, quote-unquote, it's anxiety, this is the new saying, or, quote-unquote, it's in your head? I just want to know if anyone has been told this, and how did you deal with it? That's what I put there. So Char's answer was, it's not in your head. Stress is real and can lead to anxiety, which induces irritability, restlessness, trouble sleeping, fatigue, even frequent colds, low immunity, and in some cases, inflammation of the organs. So I was like, what?
Well, I wasn't that far off, because you were talking about anxiety, and certain types of stress does cause anxiety, and as a result, these symptoms are induced by anxiety.
All you saw was anxiety, falling asleep at desk, and that was it. And you put 3 and 8 together and came up with 1,500.
I don't know. I guess. I still feel like it's related in some ways, especially the subject, not the actual post itself, but some of the key words in there were absolutely connected to my very clever response. Yes, I still think, even though it wasn't directly what you were saying, I just feel like it was.
I wonder what being in a relationship with Char and having an argument with her is like. I wonder if your dude ever envisions jumping out of a window when y'all have an argument.
It's a life-changing experience. People wake up.
I'm pretty sure. You're absolutely right. I'm pretty sure it's a life-changing experience.
No, but they wake up and realize that they don't know everything. Nobody does.
They wake up and realize that they should have taken their life months ago. Anyways, on to our show. So, the do's and don'ts of sex. Apparently, according to our listeners, we have to start with the basics. So, from a woman's point of view, what are the basics of sex? Which I guess it would start off with arousal, right? Because you have to be into the dude. Correct?
No.
Of course.
No. You don't have to be into the dude.
There's lots of chicks that bang dudes that they're not into.
No, you said arousal, Kai. You're saying in order to get aroused and be aroused, right? It's better to be into
logic.
the dude.
I see what you're saying, logic.
Anybody can do that.
I see what you're saying, logic. But what I'm saying is, if you're doing it correctly, not if you're just doing it for just money or you're drunk or whatever. But if
so
you're doing
saying
it correctly,
if a woman is romantically and emotionally involved with this guy, how sex goes down, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, what is the basic do's of sex?
I don't know. I mean, I think people have sex because it's something that arouses them, obviously. Whatever that thing may be is different for everyone. Are you asking if arousal is necessary?
Yes, the first step would be arousal, correct?
No, anyone can have sex.
No.
That's not true.
I mean, because sometimes you can have a dude that his wife is either busy or she's sleeping, and he can come home and it's on, Now she's asleep. She's not aroused about anything. But once he wakes her up or he tells her, hey, leave that alone for a minute and come over here. Yeah, the arousal can happen, I guess, while the sex starts. It depends. I don't think it has to be a precursor every time.
Neither do I.
Okay, so what would y'all say is the basic do's of sex for women then?
A mutual attraction,
women?
obviously.
Yeah, let's start with women and then we'll go on to men.
It would have to be attraction. I think it's true for
A
both.
mutual attraction initially.
Okay, attraction. And what else?
Maybe sometimes conversation is very sexy. It doesn't have to be someone. I'm not saying.
But wouldn't that be under attraction?
No, that's under personality, or that's under vibes, or what would that be? Chemistry.
Yeah, you're
that's
attracted
chemistry.
to their personality.
No, that's chemistry. You have chemistry with people, and you don't. Everyone doesn't have chemistry together.
No, what the hell are you talking about? No.
Attractive. You can be attracted to someone, but that doesn't mean you have chemistry just because they're attractive physically. That's a characteristic of the
I'm going to tell you why that's a lie. You can have a dude out here that is very attractive. He has a very great body and whatever. He's a good-looking dude. He can be a nerd, you know. Some women that probably would dry him up where they'd be like, ugh, never mind. But some women would bang that dude even though they don't really have anything in common with him. So there's no chemistry. It's just they're still going to bang this guy because he's attractive.
Okay, I can go with that too. I agree. Is BJ here today, by the way, or did I miss that too?
Yeah, he's out with some famous people, so he'll be here around 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was awfully quiet. Well, then again, BJ's quiet, so I was just wondering.
BJ right now is being fitted for his indoor sunglasses. He's a star.
Because he's got to wear
his baby crocodile shoes.
He's a star.
Oh, gosh.
No pictures, please.
Right. Autographs in the back.
Okay, somebody said one of the basic dues is porn.
What? Porn?
Yeah, that's what it was said.
No. I don't think I really understand. So are you trying to figure out what are the levels that lead to sex? Or, like, what's your question?
So basically, what I'm trying to figure out is we're trying to make sex good. What is the basic, without getting all fancy and everything, what is the basic you have to do to have a good sexual relationship?
Well, you absolutely don't have to have porn.
When you're talking about what makes sex good, that's like describing what the best sandwich is. It's going to be different for everyone. But obviously it's going to be bread involved. So I guess the bread would be attraction. Everything else is up in the air. Because you can have women that like being dominated. You can have women that like overly romantic situations like flowers and candles. And you can have some women that like spontaneity where, you know, she's in the middle of, you know, talking or something and he just starts coming in and stripping herself off while she's talking on the phone. Like, there's a lot of different things. You have some women that would, you know, want to turn the lights on and open the curtains and put a show on.
Voyeurs.
Like some people get off on that. It's different for everyone.
Right.
But I would say the main bread of that sandwich would be attraction. Attraction, definitely.
Okay, so everybody agrees attraction.
Of course.
Apparently, we don't agree porn. Maybe that's some people's basics. Maybe they can't start without that.
No, but porn is not a basic necessity. It's just an add-on, you know, item, so to speak. You know how some people have sales in a store and they say, hey, do you want to get this too? They'll make it even more better. They'll make the product better or it's more enhanced or what have you. And so that's a personal choice, but it's not necessarily the norm for everyone, not at all. Because some people find that to be rather offensive in some relationships.
Excuse me. And that's what I was going to say. Some people think it's cheating, actually. If your dude is watching porn, women get angry at that.
Exactly. Right. So, but when you get
how do you feel about that, Char? Do you think it's cheating?
No, absolutely not. I don't think it's cheating, but I absolutely have heard what you just said. I have heard that a few times. But my thing is this. I feel like you got to be on the same page when it comes to that anyway, because it can be, once again, offensive, or some people are just feeling like, oh, well, am I not enough for you? You know, you have to watch that. No, but what I'm saying about that, the listener that just left us a message, though, sometimes if we get used to what I consider to be almost dysfunction, if you have to have porn to get started, if you get used to something because you expect it or you almost depend on it to have a good time or enjoy yourself intimately with that person, then maybe that's a problem in itself. Because that should not be always the deciding factor. That shouldn't always be the add-on item. You know, it should just be something that maybe spices things up sometimes, if that's your thing, but not like, oh, we can't really have fun or enjoy ourselves unless I'm watching this first or we're watching it together. You know, or I'm watching you watch these women, or I'm watching you watch these women with these men and women. You never know. People get real kinky. You know, so I don't want our listeners to think that should be expected, nor should it be considered to be normal unless it's their normal. But in the grand scheme of things, that's just an add-on item. All righty, listener?
I know this one woman, she refuses. The only porn she watches is like anime gay porn. Because she feels, and when I say gay, it's two men. Because she feels like and she's not gay, but she feels like if she watches regular straight porn with regular people, then that's cheating on her husband.
I mean, that's a boundary that she has. No, I was thinking about what you said. I mean, the way you were framing that was as if it was weird, but if that's the boundary that she set for herself, then that's what it is. I don't think that's weird. I think it's a very odd genre, you know what I mean? Because my thing is, why wouldn't you just not watch it? But if she feels that she wants to stimulate herself, then, you know, and for some reason lesbian porn, you know, disturbs her in some way, that's her choice. You know what I mean? But I would never look at her like, you're weird. You know, just like I would never look at whatever woman or man who thinks that watching porn is cheating, because it can be. If the spouse is using it, and that's the only way that they can, you know, pleasure themselves, then that's a form of cheating. I think you should work out why, you know, you can't have a climax with your actual living partner that's in your life. That's more, to me, that would be a better use of your time. Yeah.
Well, I was saying it because to me it is kind of weird, so I was saying it in that aspect. But I mean, I hear what you're saying. I still think it's weird though. But you know, I guess that's what she put for herself.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it all depends what the motivation is, and why she felt she needed to do it.
So from a man's point of view, do you believe that the very basic of sex is also attraction, or do you think there's more to it for y'all? Because, you know, the saying is that it's easier for a guy to have sex than a woman. Like, it's easier for y'all to get aroused. The wind could just blow east and y'all are ready. And it doesn't have to be a girl you think is attractive. It doesn't... You know, it could be an ugly girl, and she's just giving you head.
I don't believe that. I believe men and women are the same. I believe you have some women out there that have a very low standard that will find a plethora of men attractive to the point where they'd be ready to bang them at a moment's notice. I think that we're all the same. I don't think it takes more to arouse a woman.
Char, what do you think?
No, of course there's no standard or anything like that, but like I said...
Of course there's no standard?
I mean, no. I thought you were... You know what? Just repeat it, please, because I was thinking of something really funny regarding this whole subject before you asked.
Oh, my God.
I was thinking of something really funny. Like, what are the chances that we're having this subject today, you know, with the topic?
Oh, my God.
And,
let's
can I just segue? Because there's a purpose of me not being keyed in, like I'm honed in at that moment. Sorry. But I can redeem myself easily, I promise you. Here's what happened. So the largest porn convention actually happens in Las Vegas every year around this time of the year. And it happens to be next week, okay? You guys with me so far? Okay. Well, in my relationship, I'm the one that's like so interested in the kinky side of, you know, of intimacy, you know, even like I'll even say handcuffs and toys and that sort of thing. So when I present these things in my relationship, it's kind of like shut down quickly because that's not something he's interested in. Now, a friend of ours at work, on the other hand, and this is a male friend, by the way, just really more like a work colleague, he tells him about it, my partner tells him about it. I mean, he tells my partner about it, and he says, and then he comes back up to my desk. He goes, "Oh, hey, Char." He says, "Yeah, sure, you guys are going to go." He goes, "I was just letting him know that that's coming up and it's going to be a lot of fun, so maybe you guys should go." And so when he was invited by this person, he just, woohoo, yeah, we're going to go, because he says, he's like, it's so much fun, everybody goes, and everybody doesn't go, but it is interesting. So my thing is when I present these things, like actual specific toys and ideas, it's like, oh, no, I'm a gangster. I don't do all that. That's ridiculous. And that's kind of like, why would you get? But now you're invited to a whole convention where there's going to be tens of thousands of dozens of millions of kinky, weird, playthings and play people. I don't even know if they're going to have sex acts on the floor. I doubt it. But I'm saying, like, introduction to this really, kinky side of life. And so I was just a little offended to the point where I'm not going. I don't want to go. We never talked about it. He didn't come to me one day and say, "Hey, Char, remember the porn convention that so-and-so invited us to?" Now, yesterday I get a confirmation from our friend. "Oh, I just spoke to him. He said for sure that you guys are looking forward to it." I'm sitting here like, he still hasn't said anything to me. When he first invited us, we were walking out the door, leaving our office. And then he laughs. Charles just laughs and goes, "Oh, you heard that, honey, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I didn't say anything because I wanted to crack him over the head. Like, why are you even smiling and acting like you're interested in going, period? If you can't even talk about a French tickler, let's not even go. I don't want to go. So now we're talking about the subject of sex, and I'm laughing like, really? I just can't believe how funny that is. So anyway, it just so happened that I got a pop-up on my phone to remind me that this convention is
Char, are we going to get to the end of this story?
That was it. That was actually it. No, that was it. The dilemma is I'm not interested. I don't want to go because I feel like, how come this person you barely even know invites you to something like that over all things, and you're like all for it, and like the littlest things I'm trying to introduce into the relationship anyway, just to make things. He's like, "Well, why do people like stuff like this?" Because you make it more fun, spice it up, whatever. And the thing is, if someone's not comfortable, doing something, then you don't push, you know what I mean? But don't just shut it down immediately. Unless it's something really ridiculous. So anyway.
What is your question?
Your
question is why he didn't want to go with you? Is that your question?
No, it wasn't really a question. I had already made an ultimate decision. I was just making a point of him telling me, like I said, for example, guys, okay, French tickler, I'm just giving you an example of, say, like a small little gadget, right, that I presented to him because I saw, like, it's something that I've been looking at and I've heard about it on TV and all that. So when I mentioned it, he's like, "Oh, I'm a gangster type," or whatever they call, like a guy that's like really cool, aggressive, whatever, like more of a alpha. He's an alpha. He goes, "I'm a super alpha male. Why in the world would I want to do something like that or have anything like that?" And I'm like, "Well, can I at least tell you about it?"
Well, just to make this more interesting, what is a French tickler? Explain it to us.
Actually, it's just a cute little gadget that's it's remote controlled, and it can fit perfectly in a lady's panty in a dainty way, and it can be controlled. Well, like I said, it's remote control, right? Some of them actually can be controlled. Okay, some of them actually look like a tube of lipstick, which is very discreet, for example, right? And then it can be controlled by your partner. So say you're at a lovely restaurant and you want to play a game where he can control the levels of vibration while you're, there. I mean, it's voyeurism to a certain extent, I guess, but no one's seen anything. You're just wiggling around. Well, I gave that scenario to him, and he just totally shut it down. Not the restaurant per se.
So hold on, logic. So let me get this straight. All right. So it's something that goes on a woman, and I guess the guy controls it, right? Logic.
Mm-hmm.
How is that anti-masculine?
Well, first of all, a French tickler is a condom that has ribs and spires on it. When you have intercourse, it stimulates a woman, which is why they call it a French tickler. What you're describing is either called an egg or vibrating panties, and no, that's not non-masculine.
Okay, well, the egg.
So why would he say me as a manly man or whatever? Why would I do that?
There has nothing to do with being an alpha or whatever. He didn't want to do it for whatever reason.
Well, no, there's no interest. and any gadgets, nothing, none of that. So it's like because of the alpha, the super male.
The point that we're getting at here is that being an alpha has nothing to do with your sexual proclivities or habits. It is the way that you conduct yourself. That's what makes you an alpha. So him not wanting to bring toys into the bedroom is a personal issue he has with toys in the bedroom. It has nothing to do with being a, quote, gangster or an alpha.
Right. And can I just correct myself here? Logic, I'm absolutely aware. First of all, you're absolutely correct about the French tickler. I'm absolutely aware of what it is. I just didn't want to that it was that little lipstick vibrating, thingy, because it almost made me sound so extra kinky to even admit that that's actually what I had presented to him. A French tickler just sounded a little bit more innocent, and that's something that you obviously both can enjoy as far as fillers go. No, I'm just saying.
Char,
I didn't really just want to totally
we're talking
my planning set. Yeah. Go ahead. She said, Char. Let's talk. What did you say?
I'm just saying we're talking to Char. I don't think anybody expects you to be like a prude or virgin. So.
No, but you guys don't understand what I'm saying. I'm in a relationship. I don't say a lot of things I've used to say on the show since we've been together. So I try to talk around things, if you notice. And so I was going in circles, knowing that what I really wanted to talk about was
changing the name of something is not avoiding the topic. You're still talking about the topic. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Because he shuts all of that down so quickly, I just felt like I can't even talk about it, period. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, well, I know this is
I'm
going to
tell you something, Char. Look, Char, you're, and I know Ty's going to laugh at this, but I'm really not trying to joke when I say this. You're a freak, so you need to get with another freak that y'all going to just do your freak thing, and that's what you're going to do. You know what I mean? You trying to get with guys that's like, nah, I'm too much of an OG. You're torturing yourself. It's only going to be a problem for you down the line. Now, maybe there's a way that you can coax him and get him to, kind of bring his shoulders down a little bit and say, listen, can you use this on me, please, blah, 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 and talk to him. But, you would really need somebody that's into, bondage and ball gags for you to be happy.
It's not always that extreme in my head. That's just an idea. But yeah, interesting. Alrighty, so therefore I was holding back, guys, just a little bit for a reason. So it's okay, it's out there. And believe me, they have hundreds of those things at the show that I was referring to. They're not all shaped like lipstick. That was just a new discreet option. But and then, like you said, traditionally I think they were more so like the egg, as far as what I was, and then it could be either remote controlled or have a cord on it. But the cord is annoying. Take my word for it. Oh, and I'm sorry, Kai. Okay, really, I promise. I'm not trying to take over the show, but here's a funny story. But this is a funny story regarding that little thing, that little thingy, whatever it's called, the egg, right? So one day I had the egg on in my bedroom somewhere, and then the next thing I know, it fell behind my bedpost, and I just put new batteries in it. So do you know that this thing literally buzzed for 3 months? It would never stop because I couldn't get to it without. I had one of those, bookcase boards. You know what I mean? That bookcase headboards or whatever. So can you imagine how hilarious that is? It's just jumping around on my carpet, jumping around and buzzing for 3 months,
for 3
right?
months. 3 months straight.
Yes, and
What brand of battery was that?
Was it
Duracell, of course. It was Duracell.
Because
but it doesn't take up a lot of battery, though.
I need to buy those batteries if something was on for 3 months nonstop. That's
right.
crazy.
But here's the thing: it doesn't take up a lot of battery power because it's not like a dildo that has 3 or 5 speeds. It's not like that. They're just a little gadget, little gadget. But it was just hilarious. It was just really funny. All right, I'm done with my segues. I'm all done.
Wow.
Kai's like, really?
Just
Can
very,
I have a tour?
very interesting. Okay, so what are some of the don'ts that we shouldn't be doing when it comes to even initiating sex? I'm thinking give the floor to Char. That's just one of the don'ts. Good Lord.
Oh, no, don't is Logic's term. Or yours. I've just been, no. I'll let you guys jump right in there.
Well, one thing
Anybody.
you definitely don't want to do is you want to. One thing you definitely don't want to do is you don't want to guilt people into sex or about sex in some way.
How the hell do you guilt somebody into sex?
What the hell? Have you been living on Earth? What are you talking about? You've never heard about people guilting people to sex? Hello?
I'm trying to think of a scenario in which you'll guilt somebody.
Oh, all right. Well, a guy takes a girl out for dinner. She's not into him like that, and they go back to her place, and he's trying to have sex, and well, I took you out, and I blah blah blah. A woman that's married to a man who's either working a lot or doesn't have a lot of time, and he gets home and he's tired, and you haven't had sex with me, and blah 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 blah. Guilt. You've never heard of these things? What are you talking about?
Yes, I have. I just couldn't think of anything. I was like, how do you guilt somebody into it?
So you do understand.
Look at the whole Weinstein thing. He was guilting chicks into banging him because he was helping them with their careers. That's what the whole Me Too thing is about. Pressured into sex due to guilt or, sometimes outright threats.
Sometimes it's more of the casting couch and sometimes it's more of a threat. But it's still guilt.
The casting couch is pressuring these women. I'm going to help you, so you should have sex with me.
Yeah.
And out of feelings like I guess I have to do this to thank him for giving me this opportunity. It's guilt. How many people have come home and banged their significant other because they cheated on them that night, and they feel bad?
Oh man. That's horrible.
And then poor whoever they are, like, that was a surprise. You poor bastard. You have no idea.
I got a message saying trying to have a conversation while you're doing it. You shouldn't do that.
It depends. If the conversation really is a disconnected conversation, like you're having sex and Pico just emailed us today and said that they're going to shut off the electric. What? I was talking about that now. Get off me.
People
Get out of there.
People do that.
Who the hell would do that? That's hilarious.
And that talk about a buzzkill. The next thing
I know this guy that's with this girl. She's made nothing but horrible decisions economically for the past 15 years. And every time he goes to be intimate with her, she's like complaining about her bills to the point where he said he just stopped and was like, never mind. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like she's so into her head and not like, he's kissing on the neck or whatever, I'm assuming, trying to get things started, and she's just like, I just don't know what I'm going to do about this Comcast bill, Ugh. Never mind.
Wow. That's, I don't even know. Did he walk out? Did he never talk to her again?
I mean, I don't, he just says that he stopped a couple of times. It's happened to him a couple of times.
A couple of times, so he went back. Wow.
Well, I mean, that's his girl. He's not going to break. You know what? You're talking about bills. We're done. Like, he's not going to do that. But, he's tried to start some things, and she's just, again, so in her zone that she doesn't even realize she's being a turn-off.
Well, can't he have a conversation with her about that? Like, look, babe, this is not the time to be talking about that.
Well, on paper, yeah, that would be the thing to do. But I think most people are probably not going to sit down and have a very political discussion with their significant other. You're just going to be irritated. Like, if there's a guy not doing something and his wife or his girl is getting irritated, she's not going to sit him down like, I know you've been stressed, but, I need you to stop doing this and do more of that, and we'll be happy. Oh, okay, what is my attention? Like, people don't operate that way. So he, if in his mind, I'm sure although he didn't frame it this way when he talked to me, but I'm sure in some ways that could feel like a rejection. Like if you're trying to start something and this person is just not having it. Like they see what you're doing, but they're just not connecting. And in your mind it could be like, oh, they're just not interested. I'm pretty sure that's probably how a lot of wives that are home all day probably thinking about their dude, and he gets home and he's done, beat or whatever, and she's slipped something on for him, and he's like, no, not tonight. That could be a very deflating moment, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not going to sit down with a cup of tea and say, listen, you've had a hard day, but I put this teddy on because I wanted this, and now you're making me feel like I am not pretty, so we need to work on that. Oh, well, honey, of course not. It's just been a long day. Oh, okay, well, no harm, no foul. No.
Well, I have a really funny story that just came in. So part of the dues to one of the basic, well, I don't know if you would call it basic. Would you call a blowjob basic dues of sex for guys, or is just that's an add-on?
Basic. That is the good morning handshake of marriage.
Good God. Char, have you ever gotten with a guy who didn't need that?
You might as well have pancakes with no syrup. What? No, syrup I don't need. Just give me dry pancakes.
Are we talking about like every time, like it's just kind of a natural requirement or something?
She's talking about toast with no butter. That's what she's talking about.
No, but I'm saying, but it's not going to be every single encounter to get the guy either ready, aroused, or just because that's what he likes. I mean, that's like you said, spontaneity is for a reason. People can be spontaneous and not necessarily go that direction.
How many times do you do blowjobs, Char?
No, I'm just saying you can do other things. You don't have to necessarily every single time, because then it's not even enjoyable. I imagine a guy would say, you know what, I love fried chicken, but I'm not going to eat it every day. Do you see what I mean? Like some things you just don't want to kill it and wear it out.
If fried chicken didn't harden your arteries, you could absolutely eat fried chicken every day.
All right, Logic. All I'm saying is, I just feel like wouldn't it just be a little bit more something to look forward to, and especially if it's a relationship, when sometimes it's just you do other forms of foreplay in addition to or instead of.
Well, what do you mean something to look forward to? What does that mean?
Okay, so Logic is saying that's just a basic, so that's how you start. So he's saying at least almost every single time. You sound like you're talking about like one time a year or something like that.
No, if it's the same women that say it's a
what kind of frequency, Char? What kind of frequency are you talking about?
You just said we thought you were saying each and every encounter. I was saying,
listen, hold on, Char. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Listen to me. You're trying to build a pyramid, and I'm asking you to just go up a hill. What are you saying as far as the amount of times in a month? How many times, in your opinion, is it a good amount of time?
I'm going to give a percentage. 70%. I believe it? Maybe 75. 75, because I want to leave way for other.
We're talking about 4 times a week. If you're doing it every day of the week, 4 times, 4 out of 7 times.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? And sometimes 5, but not necessarily 7. No, absolutely not. But 4 to 5. Because, like I said, there's other things you can do creatively to get each other aroused. Oh, my God. That's only for people who don't have a creative mind, no creative energy, people that are just, I hate to say this, but misogynists. Even men who don't even like women or maybe hate women, they tend to expect women to do that, or chauvinistic type of man. I really believe it. That's who expects it. That's who expects it every time.
30% is
intense expected. I mean, come on. Well,
you know what?
frequency works.
I can live with 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 times.
Thank you. Thank you.
The other 3 times is probably some dark, kinky stuff. Yeah, I could live with that.
That's what I'm saying. Mix it up. That way you have something else.
I don't think that's what you were saying, Logic.
No, I was. No, I am saying that because I feel like you mix it up a little bit. You know, there's other ways to get each other aroused. That's what I'm saying. And it'll even push you there where you're both thinking of other creative ideas or whoever's the more creative person out of the two because
So
everybody's
how
on
many
the same
times
level.
do you expect a dude to go down on you, Char?
Honestly, I think men are different.
That's not an answer, Share.
I know, but I don't because I feel like men just don't. It's like they expect the women to do that, but I don't feel like they're even thinking about returning that favor or even starting the favor.
What would you like, Char?
For me, let's say it's a 7-day week again, right? So at least 3 to 4 out of the 7.
So a 30% ratio.
I think she's lying on her ass.
No. The guy was 4 to 5. Remember, the guy I would do 4 to 5. I'm saying, but for me, I'm looking for.
No, you said wait a minute. You said
what?
70%. So that's 7 out of 10 times you're willing to go ahead and do that. So out of 10 times, how many times would you want a dude to do that to you?
Oh, okay. I'm going to say 5 to 6. That's easier.
So
to do.
50-60%.
Right.
I think she was more like 9. That's why she was. That's why she was laughing.
No, because I don't even feel like it's a chauvinistic thing. But I just hear so many men say this in general. And my girlfriends tell me the same thing that it just doesn't happen as frequently with them as they.
You know what I think it is, Carr?
To happen with them. I mean, with that they're expected to do.
I think she hasn't had a dude that knows how to properly do it, so she's not comfortable with it because it's more. Most of the time for her, it's something she has to get through instead of actually experiencing
Logic,
something.
I promise you that's not it. No, it's just that I don't feel like I'm so disappointed if it's not happening.
Every girl I know that's had their eyes roll in the back of their head with it wants it a lot. That's what I know.
6 out of 10 is not a lot. 6 or 7 out of 10 is. What did I say?
See,
it's not a lot.
you keep changing it. You keep changing it.
I
you're not reliable. Now you're not reliable.
No, I know. I just realized that. No, I said no. I'm sorry. I said 4
you're
to
done.
5.
You're done. Get out my car.
That's 4 to 5.
Catch the bus.
God. Well, Logic, that's why I did better with percentages.
Call an Uber. You're done.
You're not even taking her home. Good Lord.
No,
I am not drinking
I have
today.
to salvage wasting my time going halfway to Crazy Town. Get out. This is my exit right here.
Yeah, I know. I did better with percentages and days of the week. But I still feel that women are just okay with the fact that men do expect it a lot more, and I don't think they're extremely disappointed if they don't get it as much as men at all. Not because
Look,
there's so many.
As I said, women are the same as men. When any man has the ability to have some woman shivering on his bed after it's all done, I don't care who she is, how proper she is, or what her background is, she's going to want that a lot, as much as possible. But unfortunately, due to women's anatomy and men's typical impatience to delay gratification and learn, most women don't get to experience that shiver. So that's why most women just like, it just takes a lot to turn a woman on. And no, it really doesn't. If you know what you're doing, no, it doesn't. It's very easy. I've never seen a woman that had that, and it's like, 3 out of 4 times I could do without it. I'm more of a conversation piece, and no. You don't even have to coax a woman to give you something after that because she's going to want to do whatever she can to get you there because it's just going to be in her to do that. She's going to want to do it. It's not going to be, hey, if you don't mind, could you? No, you're not going to have to ask. She's going to do it and then be shocked at herself. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, whatever you say. It's all right. No judgment.
Well, Logic, it's good to know that you probably have the power to make that woman shiver. But I don't care if I'm climbing the walls, like, I don't know, whatever. If I'm climbing, all I'm saying is it's just too much of a good thing. I don't want the same thing.
It's too much of a good
four-course
thing.
meal every day. I don't want the same 4-course meal every day. And even no matter how delicious the meal is, I just don't. It's like,
so
come on,
so now what you're telling to the panel now is, as debaucherous as you are, you claim now you don't want to feel what has largely been described as one of the highest endorphin kicks to humanity. Most people describe sex as one of the number one things. Like, whatever you see people doing, usually sex is a motivator. Like men that are trying to get money and peacock around with cars and clothes, it's in order to attract women because they want to have sex. If men could bang women and be penniless, it'll be a lot of guys out here that are losers and not trying to climb the corporate ladder. There will be plenty of people that would not if it was not a requirement. You think men really want to go out and spend $120,000 on a Mercedes and spend $750,000 on a Fraser condo downtown and take you somewhere to $125 a plate in order to what? Just so he can think, yeah, I spent $1,400 tonight because I'm a boss. Do you think if that wasn't a precursor for women to get moist and think, this dude's a boss. Look at his car. Look at where he took me. Look at his house. I'm going to bang this guy tonight. That's his whole motivation for getting all of that stuff. You think men really are out here looking in front of the mirror like, I wish I had abs just so I could like me? No. They want abs because they want chicks to look at their abs and go, I'm going to bang that guy. Look at those abs.
Okay,
That's
but Logic, don't get your boxers in a bunch. We're only talking about foreplay.
No one's getting their boxers in a bunch. What I'm saying is you're being disingenuous when you say that you could.
Logic. I'm not saying I don't like the gratification of a very intense, earth-shattering orgasm. We were only talking about the precursor. I said I don't need to have the gourmet delicious meal every day.
Was that what we were talking
about?
Kai?
Yes, we were talking about that. Yes,
we were talking about
we were talking about
the basics of sex. We were talking about the basics of sex.
No, specifically, he was talking about going down on a woman. Why would I not want that every day if I can get it every day? Because most women love that. That's what you said.
What you said was that you don't want to have too much of a good thing. Talking about shivering orgasms. That's what you were talking about. I'm calling you.
Precursor. You were talking about foreplay. Well, I was saying no. I don't need to have that because you said, well, if a man was doing that part right, then you were you've got her quivering and shivering and all that. If he was doing that right, she would want to do whatever she. That's what you were talking.
You're right.
I'm going to change this.
All right,
you guys were not talking about penetration. You were talking about foreplay.
Okay, Char, you're right. I'm wrong. Okay, let's move on.
Really, Logic? Kai?
Yeah, listen, I'm not
Kai
going
doesn't even get it. She thinks you were talking about. That doesn't make any sense. You guys know what page we were all on. He was saying, why would you not want a man to go down on you every single time if it was that amazing? He really can prove that to you. Not to mention, you would want to trip over. I want to trip over myself.
The statement that I made right before you made your statement was I was talking about how women typically have that kind of attitude because most men don't take them to the highest level of climax. They don't know what it feels like. That's why women have gotten the idea that it takes so much more to arouse them or whatever. And I said it really doesn't. If you know what you're doing and if you are able to delay gratification and learn, it's very easy to do. You can get a woman to those levels. Easy. That's what I was saying. Then you said, well, me personally, I don't want to do it. Too much of a good thing. I'm not that. So that's what I was talking about. And I said, you're a liar because most people.
That's what I'm talking about. But Kai was saying that. No, Kai was saying that. Like, I didn't want a man to give me that type of intense arousal, like during sex itself, during penetration, because I feel like it's too much of a good thing.
I'm done.
But you weren't. But you weren't with us on the same page with the whole going down thing. You weren't with us on that page. You were saying something else. Whatever you were saying, it wasn't that. And that's what I thought we were talking about. I could actually do it every day, 7 days a week. I mean, that doesn't bother me at all. I actually prefer that. But that doesn't even make me.
That was my question. That's what I said. And then you laughed and you gave a different answer, and I said you lied.
Leave it alone.
That's what I said. We were on a different page. I thought we were still talking about foreplay, period. That's what I thought. But if the question is, how often do you want to do that? Okay.
And we were never talking about foreplay. We were talking about the basics of having great sex.
No, we were talking
okay,
about.
Okay, so the funny story that came in from a listener, was that she said she didn't know how blowjobs work. So I guess this happened back when she was a virgin, maybe. I don't know. She didn't know how blowjobs work, so she went off the name, and she got down there, and she put her mouth over it, and she blew out as hard as she could. So I'm thinking that's a don't of very good sex. Or logic, would that be a turn on you that the girl didn't really know, and that means that she hasn't done it before, and so you get to teach her?
I mean, the only thing I care about is whether or not you're a whore. I don't care if you've done it before. I wouldn't say that's a turn off. It's just she doesn't know. You tell her how to do it. Tell her what you like. I don't see a problem with that.
Exactly. That's a turn on in itself, and to some men, is to be a teacher.
Is that how you like girls to suck you off? Is that the feeling that you get?
No, I don't do such things. That happened to me once.
She was
30
talking
years ago.
about that the girl didn't know what she was doing, and he gets to teach her. Weirdo.
Yeah, but she doesn't know what to turn on for a dude. She's a chick. What does she know about how guys think?
Well, I know based on what guys say. Maybe they're lying.
You don't know anything. You're a girl. You don't know how men think.
No, listen, then why do men say, why do so many men say that is a turn on for them to teach? Because they feel like not only will she get really good at it, but...
Men say a lot of things. It doesn't mean that you really understand it.
I just said unless they're all lying, logic. Are they all lying? Are they all lying, all of them? All of them in the world?
Every man that you met has said that he wants to teach his woman how to have sex. That's what you're telling me? Because I guarantee you that's not.
I know some guys don't like that. They want the girl to know what they're doing.
There's a lot of dudes that would get frustrated if he is. Oh my God.
There are some dudes who will not get with you if you say you're a virgin because that's too much of a responsibility.
No, listen, no. Wait a minute. Virginity is one thing because that's more of a conquest thing for men. They want to plant their flag. Yeah, I was the first. But
right, but what I'm saying, I know it's not really what y'all were talking about, but it's kind of on the same page, and they don't want that responsibility of having a teacher, having to be the first one, et cetera, et cetera. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask you guys something? Kai, can you please repeat what the listener said? Because I thought she was trying to give a blowjob and didn't know what she was doing. That's what I thought we were talking about at that point. So can you please repeat their comment?
Yeah, she didn't know what she was doing, so she took the idea from the name and she put her head on it or her mouth on it and she blew out as hard as she could.
Okay, so that was my point, Logic. When I said teach, the men that I've talked to, they're talking about that. They're not talking about the active sex itself. That would take years for people to get their own rhythm and confidence and learn tricks.
What the hell? It would take years.
No, I just said I was only specifically talking about men, plenty of men who admitted this. People I don't even know that you can see it on TV or people's life stories, whatever. They say that they actually don't mind or rather enjoy teaching that to a woman. That's not that hard to teach to a woman if she's willing to learn. But the act of intimacy or sex itself, no, that would take years for someone to get their own rhythm and be comfortable with themselves. And get that open or creative mind or whatever. That itself gets better with time.
How would it take years to teach somebody to have sex? That doesn't even make sense.
No, but that's an experience thing. That comes with time and experience. You don't just say ABC. It's not that simple. There's so many different ways to do it anyway. There's so many different mood levels or that you can get to or arousal levels or whatever. There's so many different things you can do to make it so much different each time. So, but when it comes to that, a blowjob, there's only been so many different ways you're going to do it. That's not hard to teach someone to do that if they're willing.
Love. There are many different ways you could do that.
Okay, I'm sure, but not as many positions, actual sex positions there are. Because according to the Kama Sutra, there's almost 400. And do you see what I'm saying? So when it comes to that,
you poor child.
No, listen, guys. Seriously, you're talking about the anatomy here. There's only but so much. We're talking about a mouth, okay? But so much a mouth can do in so many ways, opposed to the whole body itself.
Char, don't.
You guys,
You know,
I don't
I'm
want to
really
sound
starting
like
to think Char is not experienced as that she tries to act like she is.
No, that's not true. That's not
Char
true.
sounds very
super boring.
supermarket tabloid, like, oh yeah, this is what I like. I don't think she's really the type of person that she lets on.
That is not true. I'm probably that a lot more. But what I'm saying is I feel like you and Kai, you and Kai are actually super boring, and you're just actually sitting, both of you are taking notes in your head. Whenever you talk about this subject, I know over the last, all of the time we've been doing the radio show, I guarantee you that you guys are sitting there right with your pen and paper. We're going to do the sex topic today. Char's going to come up with some things we don't know about. Let me make sure I write this down, and I'll try that later.
Who are we taking notes from? You?
Absolutely. Every time we have a sex show, because I know,
like Logic, should I just drop the Kai persona and then just come out with my real personality?
No.
Okay,
because your family listens to this. Don't do that.
No, you guys are both boring because
put my mom in a early grave.
Her mother's listening now. I bet you anything. Her mother is listening now.
You got to look at people on Thanksgiving.
I can prove that both of you are very boring because you always try to act like there's always more to the story, more to the act itself, whatever it is, than what you probably would ever do. And so what I said was logical. I just said there's obviously so many more ways you can be intimate with your physical, complete bodies than necessarily just with your mouth, and that's why it's easier to teach someone to do that than it is to teach them to actually have it.
This is how I know you don't know what you're talking about, because
how is that logic?
Most of the time, when you have two people, one is a very repressed, prim and proper person, and the other one is, I'm a super freak and I like the butt. Usually, though, that prim and proper person has dark thoughts that they like to enact every now and again in that bedroom, where it goes in a whole nother direction that other person wouldn't necessarily be into. Okay?
You're talking about
I'm gonna tell you right
freak. Okay.
What?
Hey, BJ.
I said you're talking about a closet freak.
Yeah.
A closet freak.
I'm just saying.
What they missed was Char just called me and Logic boring sexually. She said we're prudes because I don't know. I guess we don't come out and say everything that we do when we have sex. And she was saying that there's only so much you can do when you're. There's only so much you can do when you're giving head, and I was telling her that's completely wrong. There's a lot of different things you can do.
I said not compared to intimacy with your bodies and by the penetration. That's what.
Dude,
okay,
then
BJ,
you're doing it wrong. I'm just telling you.
I bet you BJ has a super exciting, very erotic, kinky, wild side. And BJ, the Kama Sutra has, I want to say 386 positions or whatever. Okay, here's the thing. There's no way you can, just anatomy-wise, you can't even tell me that you could physically not have more opportunity to be more creative physically, two bodies, opposed to just someone's mouth in their hands, maybe. Give me a break.
Boy.
There's no way in the world. There's no
maybe
way in
I
the world.
just have a wild imagination.
I don't know. You guys lost that debate. Just admit it. You, Kai, you and Logic lost that debate.
Look, Char, let me be honest with you. I'm never going to sleep with you, so I honestly don't give a damn what you think. So.
Damn,
I don't care if you think I can do it or not.
You got to take it off your bucket list,
Char. I can sleep tonight knowing that. I can sleep tonight so much better knowing that.
I need to put it on my bucket list to be as kinky as Char, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
BJ's the one that would be the closet freak that people.
That's the other thing she said. She said, wait, BJ, that's the other thing she said. She said whenever we talk about sex, Logic and I are sitting there with pen and paper waiting for her to give us tips
Damn.
But pretending they're like the epitome of all-knowing. No, but they're supposed to be the epitome of all-knowing according to their, oh, well, you don't know that, Char. You don't do this. You don't do that because I would do it this way. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, right. You would have fell asleep at 10 o'clock.
So, hey, Char, why you think I'm a closet freak, Char?
Because you come across as debonair and, charming and charismatic. Very sophisticated.
So the way I dress, I got to be a closet freak?
What the hell is debonair?
Let me tell you what.
Shut up,
Logic. She trying to say dapper.
Listen.
She was trying to say debonair and dapper at the same time.
No, listen. Let me tell you what, because Logic will sit here and give all the specifics. Okay, the roadmap, if you will, of what can happen, what's going to happen, what can happen, what he can do, especially what he can do very well, and how he can have the person quivering and shivering. But listen, it's the ones that talk like that and that do all that want are usually the ones.
Well, actually, the funny thing is he didn't say that he did
fall asleep at 10 o'clock over snoring like, oh,
I'm done. Did that. That's what he said. He didn't say anything about himself.
No, he was.
You're the one who assumed that's on. No,
he's saying it through experience.
He's
saying it through life experience
BJ,
as well.
Let me tell you exactly
and that's something
what
to be
I
proud
said.
of. Don't get me wrong. Logic should be proud of that.
I said when
Logic,
you have
were saying it by experience.
that talk about it takes so much to arouse me, and I don't need sex that often. I said that's usually a woman that's never had anyone give her a shivering orgasm.
No, not
in the
sex.
bed.
That was not.
Yeah, that's.
DJ,
and I
he's
said,
not giving you the truth. It was foreplay. This is
what I said. And I said, unfortunately for women, they come to this conclusion because most men, they don't practice. What did I say? Delayed gratification and patience in learning how to do such a thing. So most women don't know that that's something that can happen, and that's why they have these ideas that it takes so much and all this other stuff, and women are more complex. And I said it's not. It's very easy to do it if you learn. That's what I said. I never said anything about what I do and what I would do.
Exactly.
Do this.
I never said anything.
Are you kidding me? No, he did not. No, that's how you started it out. But you specifically said. Matter of fact, you know what he said, BJ? You know what he told me? He said the reason why you don't want because we're talking about foreplay. We were talking about the man going down on the woman.
We were not talking about foreplay.
Yes, we were.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because that's what we're talking about, and I said I don't want that often because men expect it more often. That's what it was. Yes, that's what we're talking about. And BJ said, not BJ.
The question,
Logic,
BJ.
Excuse me, BJ.
Dude, we're gonna go back. We're gonna be like doing this whole show just recapping. The question, BJ, was one of our listeners said one of the staples, one of the basics of great sex was a blowjob. So I asked if that's true. Logic said yes. Then Char was like, there's no way you could do it every single time, just give a blowjob every single time. There's other stuff you have to do and this and this and this. We weren't talking about foreplay. We were talking about the basics of great sex.
That is foreplay. Right. What are you talking about? That is foreplay. Oh, my God. That's part of foreplay.
Dude, have you ever – let me ask you a question. And I guess, maybe you told me this earlier and I wrote it down, so this is how I know this because, have you ever been having sex? So foreplay is way gone. You're in the middle of sex. And you stop him, and you pull it out, and you put your mouth on it. How the hell is that considered foreplay? You're already in the middle of sex.
First of all, anything can happen once you get it going. I'm talking about, generally speaking, that's what you were talking about arousal. She was talking about arousal. You're obviously aroused by the time you're doing all those dirty things there.
I was talking about the basics of great sex.
But
that's what I was talking about.
We were talking about arousal, though.
In the call,
we said arousal at like Mark 15 minutes into the show. You're going way back to the beginning of the show. No,
look, BJ, she's going around the cow's ass, but this is what happened. So she started talking about whether or not I asked her how often would she want a man to do that to her. She said, well, first she said 30%, then she said, well, I don't know, 40, and then 5 and 6 out of 10, and then she was just like, I don't really need it. I said, so you must not have had a dude do it to you and have your eyes roll up in your head.
Exactly.
You obviously haven't experienced that, because if you did, you would want that a lot.
He then said details. He was talking about himself. And I'm sure that's a big kudos to the women out there that have a big crush on you, that send you all this mail. But he was talking about himself because he said, because he knows how to do it right, and if a man was doing it right, the women would want to do that and more each and every time he heard you. He said something to that effect, yes, he did. We can always rewind the tape and say it next week.
I got to hear the first
That's the beauty of technology. That's the beauty of technology.
Crazy.
All our episodes are
BJ, before we spend the rest of the show just fighting with Char over bullshit because she has this whole story in her head, what do you think about is a blowjob a basic to great sex, and can it be done before every sexual session? At least, let's say 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, it can be done every
Or
session.
Is that pushing it? Is that too much?
No, are you expecting it to be?
It.
That was the question.
No,
are you expecting it to be?
And it is a basis of,
You're
every
expecting
time,
it? Are you expecting it to be before every session?
Because,
are you expecting that? Other question.
Most women are expecting it for the man to go down. Most women are expecting that. So why should I expect to get a blowjob every time?
Not according to Char. Not according to Char. Most women don't expect
I don't know what kind of women you've met in this world, BJ, but how is it that most women are expecting you to do that? When you look at if you look at any statistics, a lot of men admit they absolutely won't do that, but they expect the women to. Why do you think there's so many chauvinistic men in the world? No, you guys.
Char, banana.
Do I have to show receipts about this too? Do I have to show receipts about this too? I will do that on one of our pages. Not a problem. Yes, I will prove to you statistic-wise, and these are opinion polls that are not. These are not fabricated. These are people around the entire billions of people in the world that admit that men don't do that nearly as much as they expect it.
Answer that question.
What?
Female listeners.
Okay.
Wouldn't you want a guy to go down all the time when you're having sex?
Every single encounter, no, BJ. I know you missed that part because you were signing autographs in New York.
If the guy's doing it right, and your eyes rolling back, trust me, she wants that all the time. Trust me. Yeah.
Don't say that, BJ, because now you're bragging on yourself. BJ, don't say that because now you're bragging on yourself.
Did you and Logic just have lunch before the show and sit there and compare notes? Because you sound like him. Oh, my God. No.
Look, first of all,
I can't.
Char, you must have never had your eyes been rolled back. I'm sorry. I can see that now. I can tell.
You sound like Logic. Seriously? Okay.
And that's what I just said. I don't think that she's lived this life
she has,
that she tries to act like she has. Because if you are this freak that's done all of this, but like there is no way that you have such a leave it to Beaver look at sex. Like, yeah, it's just I could take it or leave it. What? No.
Okay.
Y'all ain't getting it right. You ain't getting it done right, y'all. Sorry.
That's exactly what. I can't say that's exactly what Logic said, but that's sort of what Logic was saying. And then she turns around and say that, oh, you're acting like you do it right, and he didn't even say anything about himself. He just said, if you're not getting it right, blah blah blah. And he said basically the same thing you said.
And it's not even specifically her. It's anyone in that position.
Yeah.
You might have men out there that think like, I could take it or leave it when it comes to heads. I get it on my birthday. That's good enough for me. But if they had a woman that really enjoys it, and she gets off, like the whole performance to blow your mind.
Yeah.
Not even just what you're doing.
I didn't say that was my problem at all. That's for sure. I'd never said that.
What? What's she saying?
I just said I didn't say that was my problem. I'm not
that good.
No one.
No,
Char,
that's the opposite. That's the opposite. I just said that's not my
about
problem.
you. I'm saying in general, when people have not experienced such a thing, they usually have a blasé attitude about it. Like, have you ever heard people say, regular people that just have regular money, like, oh, if I got rich, I wouldn't have 2 and 3 houses. That's too much. Whatever. I would just have one house, and I would still work because I just would need something to do. It's like but you're not a millionaire. So
you're not a millionaire,
you're saying that because you have never experienced it. But once you go into your bank account, and you see 9 zeros behind a number.
Me saying that 5 or 6 times out of 10 was more than gratifying to me, and that's more than enough, doesn't have any blasé anything ring to it. You know why? Because the intimacy itself and the penetration itself and the act itself, I can still be climbing the walls.
The reason I said that, Char, was your statement about I don't want too much of a good thing. You know, I just wouldn't want to eat fried chicken every day.
Yeah, she did say that.
No,
she did say that.
I didn't want. Who says that? What?
No one says that.
BJ, listen, BJ,
Damn.
foreplay, that particular foreplay with somebody going out, I don't have to have that every encounter or every day, but I can have sex every day. Yes, I can, absolutely, because I have a very high sex drive.
That don't even sound right. That don't even sound right, Char. That just ain't sound. You can have sex every day, but if your dude want to go down on you, you say no, not today, and just have sex. What?
Yeah, no, it's too good. I don't want too much of it. So you say that.
BJ, I'm gonna tell you why. BJ, I'm gonna tell you why. Because there's so many other ways to be intimate and get aroused. There's so many other things to do.
That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense.
You don't know. That shouldn't always be a prerequisite. That's like for people that are boring and don't know how to do anything else. Just like I said an hour ago.
No,
that's for people that don't have a mind.
Who says you don't know how to do anything else?
No, they don't have an imagination. They don't have a mind, and they just sit there.
Why can't it be in addition to other new things? I don't understand.
You don't.
What?
Oh my God.
I said, why can't it be in addition to other new things? I don't understand. Like, why are you judging if somebody does want to do it every day? Why are you judging that they don't know? They don't have any imagination, or they're prudes, or whatever.
Because I really seriously doubt. Let me put it this way: if foreplay is literally the reason we have foreplay is to get each other in the mood to be aroused.
But you said
so
the funny part is, and this is how I know. This is how I know that.
That's what I'm saying.
This is how I know that you're more prudish than you give yourself credit for. You keep calling it foreplay.
It is. Look it up.
No, it's not.
Look it up.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
That's exactly
BJ.
Yes, it is.
Ma, if you're listening,
gosh.
please turn off the radio right freaking now, because I don't want you to die of a heart attack.
She heard it already.
But
don't
BJ,
do it.
You're like, no, don't do
BJ.
it. Leave it on.
I'm not gonna go into. I'm not going to go into my bedroom, but I'm just asking BJ. BJ, how many times have have you not gotten head in the beginning of sex, but like in the middle or towards the end, that's when you got head? Has that ever happened?
Middle towards the end. No, not towards the end. The beginning and the middle, yeah, but that was like,
Oh, you poor bastard.
Logic.
But not the end.
Beginning, middle, end, back on the way back to the bed. Yeah,
Dude,
not at the end.
Ma, I'm begging you, if you're listening, please turn it off. Okay, I gave her a couple seconds. If you haven't, then that's your fault. I don't know what to tell you. I'm a grown woman. Anyways, one of the best things to do, and I probably learned this from Char, obviously. I'm looking at my notes right now. But one of the best things to do. One of the best things to do if you know your guy is about to come, you know it's about to happen, you take it out, you put it in your mouth, and you let him finish in your mouth. And you suck it while he's finishing. That's not foreplay because
that happens. Yeah, that happens. That happens. I think that happens.
But that's what I'm saying. Shark keeps calling it foreplay.
Listen how quiet Mrs. Brady is on the other side of that line.
Yeah,
because I would rather listen, I'm going to tell you why, because I would rather the deposit be made right where it is, because that actually turns me on a lot.
Oh, really?
So that's and then
trust me. Deposit in your mouth, that turns the guy on.
Yeah.
God.
Bam.
Yeah, that is very exciting. Lots of that.
Really?
And not only that, but I don't have a problem with the mouth thing. I know how to do the mouth thing, too. You can go there at other times, plenty of times.
You're saying what's exciting to you, but have you ever considered what's exciting to him sometimes?
Oh, but you're missing the point. There's plenty of opportunity for the whole mouth thing, the whole swallow thing. Happens constantly, like a lot. The whole swallow thing.
Mouth thing.
It happens because that has its own session.
I didn't say you have to swallow. You're talking about a whole different thing.
Yes, you do.
Well, now you know.
You don't have to. But what I'm saying, so
I just said now you know. Apparently I do.
He wants me to swallow. I'm not even talking about that. put that on the side.
I heard what you said, but you were talking about where it's being released at. I just simply said I like it. I like the deposit while it's happening there,
Char.
and then another session is being.
Look, take out a pen and a paper, please, because I'm not even talking about the release. I'm talking about how good it feels to suck while it's ready to come.
Get a cop.
I really hope my mother's not listening. Is my son listening today? As you know, I'm listening today in between the shooting videos. Oh my God!
No, sometimes I gotta dig in my bag of tricks because Char needs some schooling where she thinks because I don't open my mouth. Look.
Take notes, Char. Take notes.
Listen, Char grew up
I'm just saying. My thing is, I hate that she calls it foreplay because that's not foreplay. You don't have to.
We can all learn.
You're acting like it's a necessity to get started, and that's not what it is.
No, you just missed my point. I just told you guys it's not a necessity to get started every time. How many times I say that? But it is called foreplay for a reason.
You said
foreplay
it's not
is
for
the
every time, but whenever you talk about
it,
you call it precursor.
She said, look it up. Look it up. Is that a
Please do, somebody, because I already know what it is.
She's just not even understanding. I don't know how to get through to her.
Listen, you leave Maud Flanders alone, okay? She knows what she's doing.
No, you guys, it's a precursor, period. I don't care what you guys say. I don't know where y'all been, what rock you've been under.
It is not a son of a
precursor.
Okay. So
it is.
If y'all remember Jenna from Heads Cocked? Do y'all remember Jenna from Heads Cocked? We had her on the show like a couple years ago. So she says the basics of great sex is enthusiasm, a willingness to learn and to try new things, comfort, and confidence. So that's what she said. Those are some of the basics of being a great sexual partner.
Okay. I agree with that. I think I remember when she said it.
How the hell do you remember when she said it when she just sent it to me on Twitter?
Because she has a website. Because she has a website and it's on her website. Don't you guys remember I went to her website when she was on the show? I went to her website. No, I went to her website at that time. Just like I did for the suicide lady. I went to her website even before she was on the show. So when we were speaking, I said, I'm on your site now. It says such and such. And I quoted some of her quotes. Okay? So, yeah, I remember that. Absolutely. You can go to her site yourself, headscock.com or whatever it's called. You'll see the same information. I mean, some of you might want to visit soon.
One question I do have, and this is also from the Headscock Twitter. So if you go to @headscocked, that's heads plural cocked, on Twitter.
Oh wow!
One of the questions she has.
That title.
One of the questions she has is: if a woman was to find her guy jerking off, what's the best response? Do you masturbate with him? Do you give him a hand job? Do you give him a blow job? Or do you give him sex? So we're going to ask Char first. What would you do if you walked in the room and your dude's in the middle of jacking off to a flick or something?
Well, can I choose 2 out of the 4 or just 1?
You can choose whatever you want.
Okay, well then I give him a blow job and then we have sex. But I mean an amazing blowjob, of course. And then we have sex.
You're so boring.
I'll do both.
All right.
How is that boring? You don't know my blowjobs are monumental. Trust me.
Yeah,
nothing
of course
boring
your blowjobs are the greatest ever. He sees mountains and moons and stars after you give it to him. He never goes anywhere else. Yeah,
absolutely. I should have wrote a book. I just didn't have time.
You should have written a book. Good Lord.
I should have. I just didn't have time.
Something from you. She coined her business.
She
off
did.
Of watching
she actually did. No, she actually did.
Yeah.
She did because she said, "Oh wow, you really seem to know your stuff." That's the first thing she said when I responded to something she said about that.
That's
and we all laughed, and I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, BJ and Logic, if you were to walk in on your woman doing pleasing herself, what would you do?
Join in.
Yeah.
What does join in mean? You mean finish her off? Is that what you mean? Like we just said for the guys?
The options were: would you masturbate with her? Would you, I guess, in terms of women, would you give her finger job? I don't know. Or would you eat her out, or would you have sex with her?
It depends on the situation. You know, like how far in she is and what's
right.
Right. You know,
she
I might just watch her finish. You know, or I might. turn it into sex, or I might be the apparatus that she needs. You know what I mean? It all depends.
Let's go.
Okay, Kai, that was a boring response. You just said I was boring. He's just going to sit there and watch for a moment, possibly. Really? At least I said I would finish him off and then have sex. You're all
wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me paint this scenario. So I come in the house. My girl's not downstairs or whatever. I take my shoes off. I go upstairs. She is at least 22 minutes deep into the red zone. You know what I mean? She's arching at this point. And if she sees me like, and I simply sit down and I tell her to finish. I want to watch you. That's boring?
No, it's not boring. It's not boring. I just felt like my response, she told me I was boring. I felt like mine was more interactive, that's all. Because I said I would finish him off, and then we would have amazing sex after the amazing blowjob. But it's not boring what you're saying, but I just feel like I was more interactive, and she said I was boring.
Take a pause.
Don't you get it?
Take a pause. I want the panel to understand. If I really wanted to, I could have Char sitting in my room with a sock stuffed in her mouth, waiting for me to tell her what to do. I turned her around on her statement in 30 seconds. She wasn't even sure about what she just said, and she's going to try to act like, I can't, there's no way that he is the type of person. Over the phone, Char, you just said, that's boring. I painted a portrait for you. You completely changed your mind.
Kai said I was boring. So how am I boring? How am I boring when I actually was more interactive with my answer and what I would actually do? But you're sitting there watching.
Did she not just say it was boring because I said I was going to watch it?
It was boring.
No, I didn't. No, I kept saying Kai said I was boring. So how am I boring when you actually are just watching? That's what I said. No, that's not true. That's not true. That is not true.
It's never happened.
That's not true. No, it's not true. I'm just trying to figure out how I was boring when your answer was less interactive. That's all. I didn't say it wasn't nice. I didn't say it wasn't stimulating. I didn't say shut up. I didn't say it wasn't stimulating. I did not say it wasn't arousing. That if you just watch, okay, that's really it's stimulating, it's arousing, it's kinky. That's all good. All I said was compared to the answer that I had, she quickly said I was boring when I was more interactive. That's all I was saying. That was my point. I agree. That's something else to do. That turns the women on knowing that you're watching. Yes, absolutely. But I felt like my interaction was more, like fulfilling maybe because something else is happening to the guy, and then we're both exploding after that together. So that's just my take on it.
Interesting. Anyways, ladies, erase everything you heard from Char. You don't always have to.
Don't do it, ladies. Sex. Write it down because you will be quizzed.
Look.
You said write it down.
Let me tell you something.
You will be quizzed, ladies.
You know what? Let me not be mean. Let me just shut up. Let me not be mean because I was going to be mean. You don't always have to have sex with your guy. When you give him a blowjob, just let it be a blowjob. Just let him have this moment. Just focus on him, and that's it. You don't always have to do it to have reciprocation. He doesn't have to go. He doesn't have to give you sex. He doesn't. Just give him a blowjob just to make him feel special. So if you walk in on him and he's jacking off because, I don't know, you weren't home or you were busy at the time or he didn't want to bother you or something, guess what? Just put your mouth on it and finish it. And that's it. Get up, clean him up, and walk out the room and don't ask for anything in return. That's my advice.
Okay, but I do that at least 5 times. I do that at least 4 or 5 times a week anyway. Like I do that. I don't finish it. It's a mystery. No, I do. Because it doesn't have to be equal. Or okay, you're going to do me now, or are we going to do it now? No, I walk off and that's it. He loves that. No, trust me, I do. You guys, if you guys were a fly on the wall, but not that you care, but if you were a fly on the wall. So like that, been there, done that. Been there, done that, and got a T-shirt. I agree with what she's saying, but been there, done there, got a T-shirt and a keychain and a hat. Yes, absolutely.
Anyway,
Yes.
next week, right here on No Conduct Radio, we're going to be answering your relationship questions, such as, what's the most distinct thing you saw when your ex or partner took off their clothes? Are women actually impressed by cars?
They're good.
Are women actually impressed by cars? How do you know if your partner is codependent? And more. So we're going to be talking about this right here on No Conduct Radio, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for everybody who sent in your questions and your comments. Peace out, everyone. Go check out Heads Cocked on Twitter. That's at Heads Cocked on Twitter. Peace out, everyone.
And check out my new book, Everything That You Didn't Know That You Needed to Know About Sex.
Char.
Have a great
Char.
week. Goodbye.
Don't check out Char's new book. You'll get divorced real
Bye-bye
quick.
now. Bye-bye now.
Banana.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Goodbye.